You know that feeling when the year suddenly catches up with you and you think, how on earth are we here already? That's exactly where we are right now. Less than 6 weeks left of the year, and whether you feel fired up, frazzled, or somewhere in between, this next stretch really matters. This is the moment most people either switch off or get intentional. And if you're listening to this podcast, I know which camp you want to be in. Today's episode is all about setting goals that actually stick. Not the fluffy, vague, new year, new me type goals, but thoughtful, aligned, intentional goals that support the version of you who's stepping in to 2026 as a stronger, more empowered business owner. If you're new here, hi, I'm Holly Coxey, founder of Virtually Priceless and the Visionary VA Circle, where I help ambitious virtual assistants build confidence, build a team, and build a business that genuinely feels good to run. And today we're talking about planning for success in a way that feels achievable, energizing, and importantly, sustainable. So let's get into it. Now, before you plan, you must pause. In fact, you can't plan properly if you haven't paused properly. If you're setting goals based purely on momentum or because everyone else on Instagram is shouting about theirs, they won't stick. Full stop. So, before you even think about 2026, take a moment to reflect on 2025. What worked well? What surprised you? What felt heavy? What frustrated you? What are you proud of? And what did you tolerate that you know shouldn't come with you into next year? This is where the honest conversations with yourself begin. Because if you don't understand the season you're in, you'll set goals for the wrong version of you. Then you need to choose how you want 2026 to feel. This is one of the most powerful parts of planning that most people skip. Yes, goals need actions. We'll get to that. But first, you need an emotional anchor. So again, ask yourself, how do I want 2026 to feel? Spacious or structured, driven or more peaceful, more visible, more supported, more profitable, more playful and balanced. The tone you choose dictates the shape of your goals. Because goals without alignment become chores. But goals built on intention, they pull you forward. You also need to set fewer, better goals. Most VAs start January with 10 goals and end February with none. And I've been there, so I promise you, I'm talking from experience. So this year, we are not doing that. Instead, choose one primary business goal, something that genuinely moves the needle. Maybe it's raising your rates, bringing in bigger clients, hiring your first associate, or building recurring revenue. Then choose one systems or structure goal. And this is the stuff that makes everything else easier. So building onboarding workflows, creating SOPs, or improving your client journey, documenting processes. And then finally, add in one personal or well-being goal. Because burnt out VAs don't lead thriving businesses. So, do you want more time off? Do you want to fit in a hobby or some regular trips to the gym? Maybe have a monthly spa day. So now you have 3 goals, not 30. And fewer goals equals more focus. And more focus means more success. So now you've got your goals, you need to turn them into micro projects. And this is where goals start to stick, because a goal without a plan is just wishful thinking. So you need to break each goal into actions, timelines, and habits. For example, if your goal is to hire your first associate, the breakdown might look something like this. So week 1, clarify what role you're hiring for. Week 2, create your application form. Week 3, promote the role and prepare your interview questions. And week 4, shortlist and schedule interviews. Now, that's not a perfect process, but suddenly it's not overwhelming. It's a step-by-step journey. And If you're thinking, but that only takes me a few weeks into the year, don't worry, you can always repeat the cycle and have further goals that you achieve throughout the year. I'm a big fan of the 12-week year. In fact, I'll do a separate episode on that at some point. And it's a great way of achieving more, but in what feels like a far more manageable way. Now, the next part can be a game changer and is something most people never do. Identify the obstacles before they derail you. Look at your goals and ask what could get in the way. It might be your confidence, perhaps it's client workload, or maybe a lack of boundaries, that you want to avoid visibility, you don't have enough support, or maybe just good old self-sabotage. Perhaps you're not being clear on your processes. When you expect obstacles, you're ready for them instead of shocked by them. And honestly, this is where the growth happens. Not in the perfect plan, but in navigating the inevitable bumps. Also, you are not meant to scale alone. So ask yourself what you need and what works for you. Maybe it's being part of a community where you have encouragement and people to check in with. You might want to work with a mentor. What about scheduling monthly CEO mornings and doing quarterly reviews? Goal setting without accountability is just wishful thinking. Find your people, lean in, share your intentions. And remember, your next level self is not created in isolation. So, this week, I want you to finish the sentence. In 2026, I want to become a business owner who, and then decide what you'll end the statement with. Who leads confidently, who charges properly, who invests in support, who lets go of self-doubt, who builds a team, who protects his or her boundaries, or who chooses alignment over approval, or who focuses on the work that truly lights her up. This is the real starting point of your planning. Not the diary, not the planner, not the color-coded goals. Your identity shapes your year. You don't need January to become a more intentional business owner. You don't need the calendar to reset for you to reset. Your 2026 starts now in the decisions you make, the clarity you create, and the vision you choose to step into. Start simple. One feeling, one focus, one goal, one first step. And that's it. I promise you that small bit of intention now will change the way you end this year and completely transform the way you begin the next. Thanks for tuning in today and for continuing to listen, share and support the podcast. It really means a lot. I'll be back on 4th of December where I have a guest joining me on the Visionary VA podcast. So do make sure you check that out. And if you want to dive a bit deeper into what you want out of life before you get stuck into your goal setting, do go back and take a listen to episode 9, where I walk through the life wheel exercise I carry out every year before setting my own goals. We'll put the links in the show notes. And if you're looking for some support from a great community as you build your VA business, come over to the Visionary VA Facebook group, where we have an awesome community of VAs who are building their business too. See you next time.